Hey folks, Dude here. Coming yet another episode of Dude After Dark. This one is going to be a, kind of a somber occasion. I mean, not beyond the fact that we have, obviously, hang on a sec. I got this one sound guy. Obviously, because we have, we have, currently in residence in Washington, D.C. But no, I'd like to give commemoration and remembrance. He's still here with us, but one of my friends from years and years and years ago. I mean, I actually went to junior high school with this gentleman. His name is John Yost. He's a cancer survivor, and he had jaw, part of his throat. I mean, it really just shredded the poor guy because he had really extensive facial cancer taking place, and they really had to hack and chop the poor guy. So anyway, he was doing okay, and I actually had a phone conversation with him. And between the speech therapy and the fact that it's just general mindset of I'm going to be just a badass, he's very, very easy to talk to. I mean, yeah, he does have some inflection issues where he's not speaking perfectly, but considering everything they did to him, it's damn nigh amazing that guy was talking that well. Well, anytime they do some kind of major traumatic surgery like that, there's always the attendant long-term side effects. And I don't know if it would actually qualify as a stroke per se, but he did have a situation take place where his cognition and other issues were taking place, and he became more needing additional care. So they pretty much put him in a care facility, and they're working with him to try to get him back to where he was previously at a certain level. And truthfully, the cancer treatment that he took place, really, I mean, it's like the best worst thing they could do to you between chemotherapy and radiation and extensive surgery. It's like the best worst things they can do to you, because the long-term side effects is simply as thus. Every time that you put chemotherapy in the human body, you will kill one cancer cell for every 800 healthy cells. Now, of that, there's always the long-term side effects, and whether you actually recover to some degree, or do you have attendant side effects of, is your body just completely jacked up? And he's now in the process of trying to get himself back to a certain level of where he could be, at his new normal. I hate that. I really, truly hate that phrase. But his new dynamic of where he is now. He's recovered to a certain point, and he's now at as good as he's going to get. When he had the second health issue, which was, I don't know if you would even qualify it as a stroke per se, or just a mental kind of traumatic thing taking place after post-surgical, but basically he kind of crashed and burned. I mean, recognition of things not good. His cognition wasn't good. His speaking took a major hit. Obviously, he wasn't getting around very good. So he's now in a care facility, and they're trying to bring him back to where he was, to get him back to his previous level of and not just completely jacked up. So anyway, in this episode of Dude After Dark, this is going to be dedicated to, my brother from another mother, John Yost. So if you can remember him or see him on his YouTube, or actually, no, his Facebook page. If you can put something on his Facebook page, hey, dude, we're thinking about you, prayers, whatever, good stuff like that there. Good words upbound, definitely good stuff like that. I truly would appreciate it. And that's where with that one. And I wanted to give commemoration on this show because, it was like, he was actually watching my shows on Facebook. And it was a case of, oh, where did he go? And that's pretty much where it went. It was like, okay, we had John here. Where did John go? And he's like, I go on his page, and his sister had logged onto his Facebook page and was like, yeah, okay, here's the status of John. This is, the how did we get here? This is where he currently is. This is where we're trying to progress to. Hopefully we can now bring him back from, the level of not great where he was to bring him back to where he was previously, because that was actually not a bad standard. I mean, dude was actually able to do a lot of things on his own, was starting to be able to eat more food. And that's part of the problem, too. It's also they did so much rejiggering on him and whatnot. Can he really chew and eat solid food? Does it have to be more semi-liquid? Does it have to be soft food? So that's pretty much where he is right now. And he's in the care facility, and hopefully things are coming along and he's doing better. So when he's able to converse with people, to him and in his continued recovery. So looking over on the YouTube side, I got some people in the room there. I got CLUS. How you doing, dude? Abrams is in the room. Donnie C, appreciate you coming by, dude. I am here. I am president accounted for. Considering all the political gamesmanship going on, I'm still the same damn person, man. I'm not going to stop being me, and I'm definitely not going to stop being how I am because, well, I am. I'm not going to stop being me. That's just how it is. Deal. I'm not going to stop being me. Let me get out of this. I got my email inbox open, and I'm like looking at like a bazillion stupid things that I don't really need to look at for distraction. All right. So anyway, scroll. Let me go through my timeline, and I have been seeing some really kind of cool stuff. If okay, I'm gonna put this plain as day. If anybody posts a Bernie meme on my timeline, oh yeah, it is on, and I don't mean like it's just on. I mean it is on like Donkey Kong. I will proceed to give you what fur in way, shape, and form, and levels, depths, and breadths that you have never seen before. Because damn your eyes, I am a no Bernie zone. Let me scrolly. Scrolly. Okay, back to now where I was on my timeline. Because what I do on Facebook is I'll put stuff in there and then I'll have the news and review. I know I'm doing that air quote thing, but I'll have the news and review where I go through and I cherry pick and pull those things out and have fun and converse thusly and just talk about stuff. So anyway, now looking back on the YouTube side, post is linked. There's a few John Yost. So it's why booger on up real fast here. Hopefully I don't crash and burn my home computer. And sometimes it gets a little weird about doing like, a Facebook live cast and then doing like, other stuff. So hang on one second here. Okay. That's how that one works. He is... All right, I'll just simply type it out longhand. It's just going to be easier, okay? So, dot, and slashy poo, dot, bing bang boom, and that should be him right there that I'm now posting in the chat box. So on Facebook, he is John.P as in Papa .Yost. I read Yankee Ocean Sierra Tango .9. And I believe his timeline is open for people posting stuff up on there. So if you wish to put something on there and give him a, hey, man, I hope you're feeling better type of deal, I would truly, truly appreciate it because dude is 9 kinds of cool. Definitely 9 kinds of cool. Let's see. Hashtag Bernie Tarts. I'll seal you, dude. Wow. Logan Ray checking in from the Great White North. Dude, I got to tell you this from the Yankee side of things, considering the pipeline. Sorry, it wasn't us. I know even Trudeau was like, what? Huh? Yeah. So basically, okay, now everybody's like, so what's the big deal about Canada shipping us their oil? There's a reason why they have to ship us their oil. Canada has no refineries. Yeah, that's right. They don't make their own petrochemicals. They got to ship it down to us, or they have to ship it over to Alaska, or they got to ship to someplace else, and then we pump the stuff back up to them, and they go, oh, great, we have all this gasoline and diesel to play with now. We'll put on XXX VAT taxes on it. It's that bad British habit, man. All you colony guys seem to have. We don't do that. Everybody else seems to do it though. The VAT, also known as the Victor Alpha Tango, also known as the value added tax. How's that actually work? Well, let me explain it to you real quick. Delnor, appreciate you coming in. Beta's in the room. Cool breeze. So anyway, the way a value added tax works would be like this. Say you make real close. Okay, here it is right in front of me. I can do it real simple, real easy. Say you make iced tea. Okay, you have a bottle. The bottle's 15 cents. Okay, you've added water to it. There was a tax on the water usage. That was another 25 cents. So now you're in the hole for 40 cents VAT, right? Are you done yet? No. You just made the tea. The tea costs another 50 cents. The sugar costs another 50 cents. Oh, yeah, the bottle and the cap cost another $1. Before you know it, you're in the hole for $3 for something that only should cost $1.50 American. Winds up costing like $3.40 Canadian because the taxes everywhere along the line of going from base element to finished product, tax was added to became more. We don't do that, dude. We simply just say tax on the company that makes something, tax on the finished product as a sales tax. You still get, like $2 or $3 per liter of fuel. Yeah, like $6 to $7 worth per gallon. Ouch. Oh yeah, Abrams. All taxation is most definitely theft. His Facebook was private, but I messaged him, said I hope he feels better, and say some prayers for him. Appreciate that, dude. I truly appreciate that. His Facebook shouldn't be private, but okay, it might be, okay. But you know what, dude? If you message him, I'll let his sister know to look in his the messages, like the not approved, but they still message you file, whatever that is. I think it's like the other on the the Facebook Messenger. It's like other, people that message you that you're not your friends. It's kind of a strange process, but anyway, I do something and I tend to get like the others, and the guy's like, "You dirty XYZ PDQ," and it's like, yeah, okay, that's funny. I now blocked you, so I hope you enjoyed your vacant comment that was coming out of left field. And I'm like, I don't know who you are. I don't know why you were mad. And guess what? I'm gonna hit the delete button. Boop. Bye. All right. So anyway, oh yeah, I gotta fire things up here, don't I? So Beetlejuice. We're now live 5x5, and of course we're good to go. And I really should have fun with this. Let me just find this real fast here. Let me find this real fast. I have not done this one in a while. Let me see if I got it someplace. Oh, come on. I know I got it somewhere. Oh, man. I know there's a copy of it floating around someplace. Oh, man. All right. Hang on. I'm going to have to cheat here. This is just something I was goofing around on, and I just wrote this a while ago. And I was doing around the cabin, and I had fun with it. So I figured, this will just be cute, okay? So let me see if this is it. Let's see what that. No, that's not it. That's not it. Nope. All right. Well, I can't find it now. So, all right. So it's not going to be anything but what I'm formally messing with. So I'm not going to do it right now. Okay. I'll do it later. I'll find it. I'll pull it out of my butt, do stuff like that. And, we'll make it work. All right. So anyway, looking at stuff and doing things. Obviously, I now have to go back to my stock of stuff. I've been having a lot of fun with the memes. Some of the ones I've been a little tongue-in-cheek. And there's a reason why I'm a little tongue-in-cheek. It's because some of the Star Wars universe stuff really tends to fit, Princess Amidala, Padme Amidala. So this is how Liberty dies, with thunderous applause. She's going on about when Palpatine's going on, oh, we will make the first galactic empire. We will have security. We will this, that, and the other thing. And I'm seeing so many parallels with the incoming administration and all their fluff, all their just falderal. I mean, it's just the way they express themselves. I mean, it's so much hyperbole and so much self-aggrandizement and just, we know the best way to do things. We can set things up to make things just so amazing. We can make society better. There's no reason in the world why you should ever look at anybody previous but us. We are the do-all, be-all, end-all. The alpha to the omega. If you're going to go all theological on it, they basically say that they are all that, and there's no other way around it, but they are the guys. So it's just such fluff and falderall. And truthfully, these guys really don't do anything all that different than the previous administrations of the same party. They really don't fix anything. Now, I've been having some interesting conversations, and obviously, if you guys don't know, I live in Baltimore. Baltimore City residents tend to be just on the line, no deviation. They are Democrats. They're going to elect Democrats. As long as it's got a D by their name, they're just going to blindly pull the hammer, drop it on them, and that's just their guy. There's no other way around it. They are just going to vote for those guys. There's no other way around the way, shape, and form of being just a hard-charging Democrat. They are going to vote for those guys. That's just how they work. And the way, shape, and form is them doing the vote for their guys endlessly is they just don't do anything ever any different. They will just simply just pull the lever for Democrats because they've always pulled the lever for Democrats. They really don't see anything outside that dynamic of voting for Democrats. Now, the thing about it is when you approach them and you speak to them one-on-one, they tend to be way more centrist, or they tend to be way more conservative than they are ever truly willing to admit. Most of the time in black culture, they're really not huge fans of abortion. They're really, really not huge fans of all this social engineering crap, and they really don't like getting stuck with the bill for paying for somebody else's problems. They really don't like being the guy who's seen as the, we're going to do no matter what, you're going to vote for us because you're the black guys and you get no representation for the Republicans. They don't see themselves like that, okay? The problem is, though, is they really can't say, okay, I'm tired of chewing on the donkey. I want to try the elephant. Sound guy, play Price is Right, losing horn. Let's see. Do I even have that one in here in the stack of stuff? Oh, here you go. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely, how you felt on election night is like, guess who's now running things? Yeah, and to me, I was thinking,
put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
So help me. I live 5 miles outside of D.C., land of liberals. CLU, where do you live? You live in PG County, or you live more in in one of the other areas? I mean, because I'm actually up in Baltimore. I know that area. I actually used to live in College Park, so I know PG County. I grew up in White Oak, which is Montgomery County. That's north of Washington, D.C. And then I lived in PG County in College Park, which is kind of more like the northeast corner of Washington, D.C. So the dirty little secret is L'Enfant basically got swampland, and he turned swampland into Washington, D.C. It's really not that big a place. I know if you guys see it on a map, it's like, oh, this daunting, all-engrossing. No, it's like half of a diamond with the Potomac cutting it in half, and the other half wants to be Virginia. But DC's not big, man. If you're a tourist and you go in DC, you can terrorize that place and be there and do everything in about 2-3 days max. And that didn't mean everything. Let's see. No College Park. Well, on the other side of DC, Old Town Alexandria. I know Old Town Alexandria. As a matter of fact, one of my very, very favorite places, which is no longer there, used to be at 0 Prince Street. Yes, that's right. There used to be a really, really kick-ass gun store, literally on the banks of the Potomac. And there was a really decent surplus store underneath that. And the son, who was like the kid that had the surplus store underneath, the father ran the gun store. He still has a surplus store, but I don't know how much he's really doing in Old Town Alexandria. It's really kind of it's very, very yuppie. I mean, it's very, very yuppie, but it's also very, very blue. So you grew up going to all the clubs in DC in the 80s. Fun times. Yes, my girlfriend got her first AR there at Potomac Arms. Yes, it was. Yep, Full Metal Jacket. Exactly, dude. Yep. Now the big question is CLU. Do you remember the place that was like right across the street from Roslyn called Posers? That was the ultimate punk club. As a matter of fact, there's a guy who still has a Facebook page, and he was the guy who was working the bar, and he was the guy with the huge red mohawk. So it was one of those kind of bars and clubs. That place was just a hoot. I used to go there all the time. Posers was fun. Georgetown actually used to be semi-fun. It was a really hugely college hangout, but the best part about it was I was age of majority, so I was drinking in D.C. at age 18. I was grandfathered. My sister just missed it. She was pissed. CLU, yep, I do. I grew up going to DC Space in 930. Oh, the old 930. Yes. If you could bottle and sell the unique smell of the old 930 club, dude, that's just, it's like you would open the bottle and it's like, hey, hang on a second, let me find that sound effect. I got that one right here, sound guy. Yeah, not the one I wanted. No, that's not it. No, that's not the one I wanted. Hang on a sec. I will find it. Oh, here it is. If you could open that bottle and take a sniff, it would be like a time machine. Yeah, literally, man. The old 930 was infamous. I actually had a day where I was working, and I tried to get off work. I couldn't get off work, but the show that they had that night, I wanted to go there so bad. It was Bad Brains, and it was Living Color. So Bad Brains and Living Color, two black guy metal bands / reggae / fusion / funk / punk / rock / everything under the sun. Two of my absolute favorite bands were playing the same place, and I couldn't do the show. I had to work, man. Oh, it was so. And just basically rock out with my sock out. Oh man, that place would have been like the ultimate time to hit it. But yeah, 930 Club, absolutely infamous. If you guys know the place, Georgetown, also on the backside of M Street in a place called Blues Alley. Oh my word, there is like the names that played that place, people who are up and coming and people that are going back down again. But the names of people that played that place, wow, amazing group of individuals playing in there. I'm trying to not stick on the politics too much tonight because it's like it's everywhere, man. You can't escape the news guys, so happy that, they got their guy in and everything is so much better now because,
it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
No, well, there is that, but yeah, I mean, you put Mr. Yeah. I got to work on that one. I don't think I like the deep voice. I have to make it more like that. I have to make it like a Joe screaming. Yeah, it's got to match the caca more. It's got to match the caca more. But anyway, Joe. Yeah, Joe. Can I even say Joe without you saying? Sound guy's got a happy caca finger tonight. Anyway, saw Bad Brains there a few times. Missed those days. Dude, wow. HR, before he went completely conjittered. Oh, man. I love Bad Brains. Bad Brains is like one of my absolute favorite bands. And there's no real way to define. It's like trying to define the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's like, are they funk? Are they rock? Are they kind of more concert, college rock? Or are they more... It's kind of one of those undefinable things. I mean, it's like you have this really funky bass player, a really kick-ass drummer, a really good guitarist, and you have a guy who's kind of like... So, kind of one of those kind of cool things. Are they that unique? Well, I don't know, but it definitely does make it something different than, your standard de rigueur, as it were. Anyway, so let me see. Did Great White play there? Logan, I really don't know. I don't think they did, but let me take a quick look. Let me do It was actually kind of a small venue. If you guys actually know the place at all. I don't think they did, dude, because they were more of a metal band. If you want to call Great White, if you want to call Great White a metal band, they're kind of more like glam, sort of. Well, let me see if I can't try this. Did Great White ever play 930 Club? I don't see any reference there. No. But I have met Jack White. So, kind of one of those infamous things. I actually got like a backstage pass to an M3 concert. Now, the M3 is a rock festival that takes place at the Meriwether Post Pavilion, which is a fairly kind of concert area that's over in Columbia. So if you go down 95, Interstate 95 from Baltimore, and you go kind of about halfway between Washington, D.C. and halfway between Baltimore, there's an area known as Columbia, and it's in Columbia. Now, they do, when they, non-COVID, but they do a yearly concert there, or we're doing a yearly concert festival there called the M3, and it was literally in T. I've seen, not Warned, because, of course, Janie Laney's gone, but a bunch of other, a whole bunch of now not huge names, but were huge names back, when the metal scene or glam metal scene was up back in late 80s or mid 80s going into the early 90s where grunge took over. A bunch of those bands, and that place rocks. I mean, it literally is very, very good shows. Night Ranger. I mean, just all kinds of guys playing there. I mean, what's that guy's name? The guy from not Poison, but the other band, whatever, Motley Crue. The lead singer from Motley Crue basically did a gig there. Vince Neil, and so I saw a bunch of those guys there. So anyway, but yeah, I actually met Jack White. He's kind of not the friendliest of people, but I guess he was like, "I'm off the stage, leave me alone." It's been one of those type of deals. I kind of got it. He didn't want to talk, so I bailed. Let's see. Would have been great seeing Bad Brains. Other anniversary of Great White gig that burnt down the club they were playing at. Yeah, that was, you know what? That was nobody in the band's fault. That was the venue guys themselves. They never should have allowed pyro in that place at all. First and foremost, it was just a ramshackle shack. I would not have even wanted to see pyro in that place. And as soon as anything started burning, I would have been out the door. I would have grabbed the people with me and said, dude, let's go now. Let's go. Don't even wait for this thing to be one way or the other. Out. The exit doors, of course, were chained and bolted, because they didn't want people sneaking in. 90 plus people died in that thing, or 100 people died in that thing. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. And it was not Great White's fault at all. It was definitely the guys that had the venue. They never should have authorized pyro to take place. Pyro didn't even really need to have happen, okay? Literally, those flash pots and everything else going off, way too close to the ceiling. The insulation was way too flammable. The construction of the place was literally a tinderbox. And it really... let's see. Scrolly. Let's see. Scroll. I'm going to try to avoid all the politics stuff as much as possible. I mean, it's there, and I've kind of had some fun with it. I'm not burned out on it. It's just, it doesn't interest me in the slightest. There's no reason in the world why we need to keep rehashing the same stuff over and over and over again about politicians talking their same mantra about, oh, yeah, well, these guys suck, so we're going to fix it. And the other one's like, oh, no, those guys aren't the solution, so we're going to fix it. Got bad news for both parties. If you guys haven't fixed it, you are the problem. There's no reason in the world why one party cannot simply just fix something, end it, make it a solution, done, and stop this whole insider trading crap where you basically then facilitate the other guys in the other party to then play off of your whatevers and back and forth like you're playing ping pong, and we're the net in the middle going, we just see the ball going by. If both parties haven't fixed the problem, they are not the solution. And I'm seeing that there is definitely a potential now for a third party and potentially a very good potential for booting out all of them and saying, all of you guys have not addressed the issue. All of you are the problem, and all of you need to find another job. By the way, if you even try to lobby, that is a felony. If you even try to gravitas off the previous stuff, that's a felony. That's what really truly needs to have happen. All these guys need to get hamstrung in such a way that they do not profit off of the American public, and the ridiculous retirement benefits these guys get should be halved, if not quartered, and the amount of pay that these guys get should not raise the amount of money that it does about Congress and Senate. They get an automatic pay raise. The only time they don't get a pay raise is when they say, hey, don't give us a pay raise. We don't need a pay raise right now. Otherwise, automatically, they get a pay raise. And the thing about it is that truly sucks is they go, well, I'm only one vote. I can't stop the pay raise. No, but if a whole entire party said, you know what? The American public's taken it in the butt enough times. We need to stop this. We're going to stop the automatic pay raise. If they did that and they showed they had a set of nuts, it would go and show themselves as being genuine for fixing a problem. But they're not going to do that. That's too much like fixing a solution. And if the politician fixes a solution, you've just negated the need for the politician to be there doing that thing to fix it. So if they fix problems, they've just removed themselves from needing to be there. Patriot Party. Yep, dude. Hashtag Patriot Party. I'm completely on board with that one. Absolutely. I think that people emancipating themselves from the government is more plausible than reform. Well, in my heart of hearts, what I'd love to see have happen is a bunch of people say, you know what, we're tired of dealing with the federal government. And they approach the Indians on their sovereign nations. And they say, guys, look, here's the deal. We know that you are basically ones with the earth. You basically want to protect the planet, but yet you also wish to seek profit and you wish to do things correctly. How about if we have an environmentally friendly corporation set up here to do production, and you guys make the tax revenue and not the federal government? I think if that happened in areas that are just, wide open spaces and it's not going to hurt anything, I would tend to think that the nations would be like, you know what? That's actually not such a bad idea. Possibly, we might even have some ability to handshake this, and we're not just simply going to rely on the fact that people come here to gamble. Yeah, I mean, gambling is a great moneymaker and all, and people tend to be, reputable. That seems to be like the human condition of things that people tend to head towards first. Excuse me 1 second here. But personally, I would tend to think if you approach the Indian nations and say, guys, look, you have untapped resources here. And I'm not talking about like digging holes in the ground everywhere. I'm talking about you guys have a lot of acreage that you're not utilizing that would not discredit you to the great spirit to allow your people to profit and then potentially even employ those people on those lands with companies that are handshaken to make money and tax load that then goes to the Indian nations and not to the federal government. I tend to think that's going to be something that's going to be working out if they do tend towards that way of thinking. Even so much as so is that you have states saying, you know what, we're throwing too much money at the federal government. We're going to keep some of the money here. And the federal government goes, no, you have to send us money. It's like, no, we really don't. Well, what about all that, national defense stuff? Dude, we're a landlocked state. Do you honestly think we're going to get taken over or overridden by the Chinese or the Russians or anybody else? Do you honestly think the Mexicans are going to come charging up the border and try to take us over and try to make us their sovereign nation? I don't think so. But the only downside is all nations have, I'm saying nations, but all states have pretty much given up their sovereignty except for one. The state of Texas is the only state in the union that still has maintained its sovereignty, and it is very uniquely set up. The federal government could go, well, we're just going to XYZ PDQ to you, and the Texans will go, okay, we got our own oil, we got our own seaports, we have an international border, we got our own NASA location, we have our own federal mint, we also have our own power grid that is completely uniquely separate from the rest of the United States, so all 47 of you other guys could go dark. We still got power. It's also in the state constitution. They can succeed. And if they choose to, they really, truly could say bye-bye. I tend to think if they're going to do it right, though, what they would do is I'd hack out that little piece that has Austin and say, you know what? You guys are like, you're like Lesotho in South Africa. You're like your own little unique little nation inside the greater whole. I've even asked my buddy who's South African. I was like, dude, what is the purpose of Lesotho? He's like, oh, it's like a park. It's like, yeah, but it's not like, you pretty much have like, was it Liechtenstein in Switzerland where it's its own financial and completely different entity? He goes, no, it's really like a park. It's not that much different than the rest of South Africa. They simply say that there's something, uniquely different. It's like, oh, so it's not like the Vatican? He's like, no, it is not like the Vatican. Not in the slightest. It is not that much of a uniquely sovereign nation. It's just a place with a fence around it saying, yes, we're Lesotho. It's like, okay, you're Lesotho. What difference does it make? Well, we're South African Lesothos. Well, wait a minute. No. Are you a self-supporting entity or are you actually South Africans? It's like, no, we're guys from Lesotho. Okay, what about, you making your own things work with your own tax load? And they're like, well, it's like the cash influx that happens. Oh, let's see. Nobody else saying anything over here. I have nobody over on the Facebook side, but hopefully some people are watching. I do know that it is running publicly. It will be archived if people wish to watch that later. I am cheating. I am very much cheating because I don't know if they're really showing a reflection. You know what? I don't have to reflect it. I can just tell you guys. So literally I have camera A, camera B, and of course I have my smartphone, which I finally stuck an SD card in. So now it's going to have room to actually do the full video. And I'll upload the video on YouTube if things go completely kajittered, because it will be an archived copy therein, and hopefully everything works therein. I have seen is a channel called 9 Hole Reviews. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. It was kind of getting a little weird. Something called 9 Hole Reviews on YouTube, and it's a accented Chinese or Taiwanese guy. And he does shooting videos where he gives his impressions, and they'll do range testing of modern and old firearms and give you the impressions of how they shot. And they're really, really well done. And, the guy really, truly can shoot. I mean, he's like scary good with like irons. Like he's one of these lucky guys that has like the eagle eyes that just works for like iron sights. And, but anyway, they posted a review of a SIG 550 -1, I think it is. It's one of the ridiculously expensive SIG firearms, but it's a 5.56, so basically a 2.23 sniper rifle. It's intended as a police sniper rifle, and it's basically equivalent to running gear of kind of like an AK smushed up with like a MP44 smushed up with like AR kind of smushed up with it's kind of a mixed bag, but it's not the most accurate firearm around. I mean, they say the rifling twist is like 1 in 10. I was like, holy crap, 1 in 10 in a 5.56, and it's like, yeah, but it will stabilize, because the barrel is so long, the bullet will get 2 spins inside the barrel, and it is consistently about a 1.5 to 2 MOA. A rifle. I mean, that's the other thing too, is it's also intended to be a police sniper rifle. So your engagements really won't take place much beyond like 200-300 yards, absolutely maximum. Probably going to be shooting much closer than that. So having like, a 2 or 3 inch group at like 100 yards, that's minute a bad guy. It's not that big a deal. You will zap him with great alacrity. 550 rifle. So they ran the range, and so I'm saying they ran the range, and the rifle did okay out to like about 500 yards, and then it was just like they could not put it on metal, and it was like this is kind of expected. It's just not that accurate. But I wish I could have hit it at least a few times. But all the targets running up to 500, we were hitting. Beyond 500, that's it. It just fell in its face. It just wasn't accurate enough. So they did the whole video, and the video was pretty much just dude shooting the rifle, giving like his impressions of how the rifle shot, hits versus misses, and then of course there's an after thing where he's sitting in his house and the video crashed for so and so camera, so I'll be telling you about it here in my house and give you my impressions and whatnot. And that's literally all it was. It wasn't like loading ammo, it wasn't like doing anything crazy. It was just a guy basically at a bench, laying down prone, engaging targets on a known distance, safe rifle range. Well, in their heart of hearts, being the anti-gun, hang on a second here. Hang on. I got this one, sound guy. Being the anti-gun, yeah, here we go. The anti-gun curs, yeah. Curs, yeah. Mother curs that YouTube tends to be, they pulled the video. Now, I know they have it up somewhere else. It's either up on Rumble or one of the other websites. One of my friends posted up the link, and it's on Facebook now, and you can find the link and go there and still watch the video. But in terms of the actual rifle hitting steel targets, bang, ka-ting, bang, ka-ting, bang, ka-ting. I don't know why it was so threatening to the liberal condition that they were just like, oh, no, we can't allow. No, the second he put that on there, yeah, they just crashed and burned, not going to allow it. So we have to pull that off because it's just going to be safer if we don't have somebody shooting a weapon safely on a rifle range. And we just know that in our heart of hearts,
Death by snoo snoo.
No, sound guy, that is not death by snoo snoo, okay? No, that is not death by snoo snoo. It's more like this. Okay, he's got a new habit now, and I don't know why sound guy keeps doing this, but I hit deliverance squeal, and he hits ding. So I don't know if he's like trying to say like, dude really enjoyed the I don't know why he puts the ding in there. I really don't, okay? But anyway, so YouTube in their heart of hearts, being the leftard, screaming memeite wannabe socialists that they really truly are, really don't get it, okay? Dude was shooting safely. He was instructing people on how this weapon fired, how this weapon functioned, and literally how it did in every possible prenumulation of being safe action therein, of doing it correctly and exhibiting the way that you're supposed to do that, okay? There was nothing on there that included any
Death by snoo snoo.
No, I was not going to say death by snoo snoo at all, okay? No. I was going to say it involved nothing that was completely unsafe or demonstrating improper gun handling or doing anything other than showing what a rifle does on a rifle range. There was nothing about it that was completely pejorative or any way threatening to anybody. And, okay, so maybe you were looking at dude's butt too much, okay? So maybe that's what it was. Dude was laying down and shooting a rifle. You're just looking at his butt going,
You're despicable.
If you're staring at another dude's, Delano Rosie / beta. Delano Rosie / beta. Anti-gun sound effect fart. Jeez. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, we're going to have our meeting now for the anti-gun blah, blah, blah. Make ourselves really, really happy. Yeah, that sounds like a standard anti-gun meeting. Okay, anyway, yeah, no. Which field gauge would be good for 5.56 AR, 5.56 or 2.23? Well, here's the thing. If you run a go or a no-go gauge in a 2.23 / 5.56, it'll go both ways. The difference between a 5.56 versus a 2.23 is not the cartridge. The cartridge is exactly the same. The difference is 5.56 is loaded hotter, and of course it runs usually a heavier bullet than 2.23. The difference is the chamber throat. In a 2.23, the cartridge neck goes up in a chamber and basically has like a little notch there that the edge of the cartridge locks into. On 5.56, it actually opens up and it has a gradual lead. And that's what they mean by lead. Literally the first transition between the front of the cartridge to the end of the cartridge to the beginning of the rifling, that throat area is called the lead. Goes from cartridge, goes to throat, goes to lead. The throat is literally like the transition lead. Now, in the let's see, I'll get myself backwards here. In the 5.56, the transition is pretty much just a straight run. In 2.23, it goes up and stops, so the cartridge literally stops on a sharp little shoulder that then goes to the rest of the throat and lead area. So if you shoot 5.56 and 2.23, potentially the cartridge neck can't open enough, and it's already a hot cartridge, and potentially you can basically just overrun the cartridge. Now it becomes a proof load and potentially can damage the firearm or hurt things. Now, to transition a weapon from being 2.23 to being 5.56 is just running a chamber reamer in and then just cleaning out that neck area. That's the only difference. So the field gauge is pretty much the same damn thing. It's not going to help you there. All a field gauge is really is just like an area that kind of simulates the head, simulates the chamber body. Simulates the cartridge body and then simulates the shoulders. It does not simulate the neck at all. So you got to be really careful in that one. However, most AR barrels are made to be 5.56 unless they say specifically they are 2.23. Give me 1 second here. Now there is compromises. There's a compromise between a 2.23/5.56 chamber where they've taken a 2.23 chamber and opened it up just enough to be safe, and it's referred to as a 5.56 enhanced chamber. So basically, it's a target chamber for 5.56, but 2.23 shoots really good into, and it's called a wild chamber. So WYLDE. So Whiskey, Yankee, Lima, Delta, Echo, wild. And it was named after the gunsmith that came up with it. And essentially all you do is you clean it. I did have some years ago, and I sold it like a dumbass. I should have kept it. But I had a Dissipator Bushmaster upper on one of my older ARs. And so I was shooting it with a 22 conversion. Read like, you pull out the bolt carrier and you put in a replacement bolt carrier that really is just like it's a piece of sheet metal with another piece of sheet metal and a chamber insert and a little bolt that basically takes the place of the bolt carrier, and it can now work with 22 long rifle. And then, of course, you have magazines that affect with it, and they're really a lot of fun to shoot. So anyway, I was shooting that Bushmaster upper with the 22 conversion on board and shot it a bunch and loaded up the chamber with some lead. Now, if you know anything about lead in a chrome chamber, it's like nothing to clean it out. I mean, you pretty much just stick a cleaning rod in there with a brush with some, basically a cleaning patch on there, couple of spins, pull it out. It's shiny with lead, and all the lead's just falling out of there because it really just doesn't stick. Well, I didn't think to do that. So what I did was I pulled out the conversion, put a standard bolt carrier back in there, stuck a live mag in there, and fired off one, and I do mean one round. And the recoil on it was like kaboom. I'm like, man, that thing really kicked. What the hell's going on there? And then I looked and saw that it hadn't ejected the case. The bolt was back, and it was like, okay, what did I just do here? Well, literally, the extractor slipped off the case head, and the gun basically opened up and left the case in the chamber. So I couldn't get the case out by running the bolt forward and pulling it out. It wouldn't grab it. It wouldn't have it. It just didn't have enough nuts. So I went back up to my friend's place. I was shooting at his farm. Went back up to his place, took a cleaning rod, took it from the muzzle end, bing, 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 bing. It's kind of tight. Bing, 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 bing. Popped it out. Took a look at the front of the cartridge. The cartridge neck area was like gooped up with lead. And obviously what had happened is that there was a lot of lead in the throat area / transition point. And they say that 5.56 normally runs about 65,000 PSI. I estimate I was probably closer to like 80, maybe 85,000 PSI. So I proof tested it again. Obviously checked over all the parts, no cracks, no nothing. Everything still looked good. Put it back together after cleaning it up and proceeded to fire a mag through it. No issues. So Bushmaster is a good upper. I mean, I'm not crazy about the politics, but Bushmaster is a good upper, and that one happened to be a bull barrel to begin with, so it was hell for stout. Didn't break anything, didn't hurt anything, but basically it was a learning lesson. So if you do shoot lead bullets through a 5.56 chamber or a 2.23 chamber, clean it up before you start shooting, standard ball ammo, because you're going to make a mess, especially if you use the 22 conversion. So yes, the answer to your field gauge question, I would use go, no go, and field. And obviously the way it works is like this, is you run a go gauge, that's your standard, no problem. A field gauge should never, ever close. A no-go gauge should never, ever close. It should only be go. Potentially no-go, but that's getting loose. Field is way beyond spec. It is way loose, and you don't want to shoot it like that because it is just too big a chamber. Potentially you have headspace issues, your cartridge stretches too much when you fire it, and potentially things start blowing. Not good. Don't do that to yourself. 22 ammo for average 40 CS online. 22, 22. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, CLUS is now talking about like ammo prices. Yeah, it's like absolutely insane now what ammo prices are doing. I've been watching, like the online vendors. They're gone. I mean, they're pretty much they're dried up, blown away. There is no ammo to be found. There is secondary sources if you know where to look, but the price on it is like, hang on a sec. I got this one, sound guy. Getting is just and you know what, you could even add another sound effect to that one, because when you buy it you're just going yeah, that is not at all
Death by Snoo.
no, it is most definitely. Ammo prices right now are redonkulous, and there's no reason in the world why a 22 should be priced on the same level as a centerfire round, if not more. And I've been seeing like 9mm pistol ammo approaching like $1.50 to $1.75 per round. Man. Not going to be this kid, man. That is beyond ridiculous. So what I can say right now in terms of any ammo that you do find, pretty much like all the big vendors, your Bass Pro, your Gander Mountain, your Cabela's, all those guys, they're gone. They're empty. I mean, the last time I went to Bass Pro, I was looking for something specific, and I was scrounging around looking for something specific, and their shelves were bare except for the ridiculous, and I do mean absolutely ridiculous, hunting 12-gauge ammo, which is like some insane amount of money because it's like tungsten loads or something. They're just absolutely insane. I'm not spending $70. The pricing on it is like nothing short of just insane right now. And it is not a case of the government going, well, we're going to snap up all the ammunition. It is just, there is 39 million new gun owners currently from the last year alone who now go, oh, I got to get some ammo. Well, beyond the fact that there was a major amount of people freaking out to begin with, because you have a new administration going in. And of course, the new administration going in is talking about, oh yeah, well, we're just going to ban. And it's not so much the fact that, the ammo manufacturers aren't making enough, because they're going hell for leather. They're at absolutely max production values right now, and they simply cannot keep up with market demand. Now, if you were smart and you stocked up before all this stuff, you got probably not bad prices. If you're trying to get anything now, yeah, you're definitely taking it right in the old
Death by Snoo.
No, it is not death by snoo at all. You are getting, you're getting taken to town, dude. You are getting big time. You are not going to enjoy the ride at all. So ammo prices right now are nothing short of crazy. And everybody's trying to play catch up. And of course, the ammo manufacturers they cannot keep up with the market demand at all. Logan Ray, 39 million. Yes, that's what I heard from what they refer to as the NICS check. So NICS. And it's called the NICS check because it is the National Instant Check System. So before you take, I don't know if you guys know how Canada, how things work in the United States, but if you were to buy a long gun, read like a standard bolt gun or a pump action shotgun or something along those lines, most states is just cash and carry. You basically go in, you present your ID, they run you through the federal government, you fill out the 4473 form, you fill out a second state form if it's required, and then you take delivery of the firearm right then and there. Some states have more restrictions on pistols. Some states have more restrictions on semi-automatic rifles. Some have more restrictions on just general descriptors therein of like different firearms types. But essentially, everybody does a NICS check for a firearms purchase. Now, if they do multiple gun purchases at the same time, they're a multiple gun purchaser of 39 owners. It's not like they're saying it was originally the same guys, or it could be said it's just 39 million with a lot of new gun owners. Of that, I don't think that everybody's going to go, yeah, I just bought this, spent hundreds or thousands of dollars, and I'm just going to give it right back because, these guys in the government just said, I can't have them. I don't think that's going to happen, dude. Nice try. Good luck. No. And as a matter of fact, this whole talking a big game and, of course, screwing up the honeymoon. That's the other thing, too, is also, the Democrats really, truly don't understand overreaching themselves because this is a new administration, okay? You have the honeymoon period where people are kind of like, well, okay, he's a new guy. We're going to give him a chance. Well, there's the other side of it, too. It's also, you don't just walk in there and say, I own the place. You're going to do everything I want you to do because I'm now the guy's running everything. I'm now in charge and bing, bang, boom, blah, 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 blah. Well, the mandate of it is such. In the Senate, the Democrats have a majority of 3. If you want to really get down and dirty, they could say, potentially it would be 4 with Kamala. I'm going to call her her right name. Kamala could throw and as the vice president, she can be the deciding vote if it's a split vote of 50-50. She is the 51st vote. Well, if you have a bunch of people who are afraid of losing their job, kind of like Joe Manchin in West Virginia, potentially he's not going to be the guy who goes, yeah, let me piss off all these rednecks by trying to take away their firearms. And that's just in the Senate. Now, in the House, Nancy Pelosi only has a majority of 5. So if you have some new Congress critter that is now in office and he's definitely afraid of losing his job, and pretty much everybody in his home district have told him in no uncertain terms, if you do anything anti-gun, we will come into D.C., we will grab you by the
Bulls.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to grab you by those. We're going to grab. Hang on a second here. I got that little fuzzy, unstable connection thing going on here. Hang on one second here. It's being weird. Okay. Have I ever built an AR before? Yes, I have built more than a few ARs. Some for myself, some for my friends. I've always referred to as an AR-15 as the adult Lego. It is the most modular weapon system ever produced by humankind. And then, of course, you have anybody in the United States, and there's it's like, do I put different tail lights on the car? Do I put different headlights on the car? Do I change the color of the roof? Do I put different tires and wheels on it? I mean, literally that same kind of way of thinking. You can change it up to be completely one way to the other to anywhere in between. And usually I explain to people it's simply as this. You can take an AR-15 and you can run it all the way from 22 long rifle all the way up to 50 caliber BMG. And everywhere in between. Rifle calibers, pistol calibers, 12-gauge shells. I mean, it is insane. 410s. It is insane the amount of interaction and just sheer universality that you have with the AR-15 weapon system simply because it's become just a standard. And the dirty little secret is they're not hard to make if you want to actually 3D print them as well. So, yeah, anti-gun guys, you're not going to put the genie back in the bottle. The plans are all over the internet. People have 3D printers. People have milling machines. Going out and buying a piece of aluminum and cutting it into shape or casting a piece of metal and then cutting it into shape is not hard. There's a guy on YouTube, I believe the videos are still up or they've been pulled down, and he's a guy that actually lives up in PA. I've actually spoken with him before, and he has cast and made his own AR-15s and AR-10s out of beer cans, like old beer cans, and cartridge brass. So it's not an impossible thing for you to make your very own at home with minimal tooling and minimal amount of instruction. And it's not rocket science, okay? You're not going to stop people from doing those things and making those things and having those things simply by saying, here's a piece of legislation and we don't think you should have it. And the dirty little secret is, of all things, one of the most legislatively restrictive states on the planet, New York State came up with the SAFE Act some years ago. And they said, you have to register your AR-15. Your black rifle needs to be made known to the public, blah, 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 blah. They've had 3% compliance. Now, in the United States, there is a weapons number somewhere in the number of 300 to 400 million firearms, if not more. There is somewhere in the order of, I think it was like 11 to 12 trillion rounds of ammunition. Genie's out of the bottle, Democrats. You're not going to disarm the American public. That's just not going to happen. The first thing that happens is people are going to go, you know what? I'm not giving them up. Second thing is, well, do you still have them? Oh, no, I gave that away years ago. I don't have that anymore. You're not going to get their stuff. Keep thinking that one. But you're not going to get their stuff. And then, of course, you have the whole other thing, too, where there's like 30 states now with constitutional carry or constitutional ownership, where they basically told the federal government, don't even try to bring that crap in here. If you try to, we will arrest you. And the sheriffs have even told the federal government guys, don't even try that crap here. We will arrest you. And they have. So, good stuff like that there. Yes, Beta Ultimate, they're literally Legos. Yes, they truly are. Mike CB says, help. What's going on, dude? What is wrong with Mike CB? Oh, helped your friend build an AR. Yes, I did help my friend build an AR. As a matter of fact, what's nice is he actually spec'd it out a certain way, and he kind of built one that I actually took inspiration from, and that became the house toy. So literally, it is an AR 16-inch carbine with a fixed old A1 style stock. So the old short style stock, non-telescoping, and it's basically a very easy, handy, good house weapon. Excuse me 1 second here. Now, case in point, I probably got too much crap on it. It's actually, house toy is actually a little heavy, but it does work, and it does work rather nicely. Actually, I probably should take house toy out to the range and give him some exercise, because I'm not out of ammo. I actually have an okay amount for my own personal usage. I have basically seen the long view, and I've been buying for a while, like a long time. And I don't have any reason to think that I'm going to be completely screwed if I go out and practice a few times, and I'm not completely worried about it. Let's see. Let me look over here on my feed if I got anything that jumps out at me. Let's see. I've been having a lot of fun with the memes, so I got to skip over some of them. I do think it's really annoying, though, when politicians do their political things. Read like the guy in my state, the governor of Maryland, being Larry Hogan. He said, quote, there's no public health reason for county school boards to keep students out of school. None. The science is clear. Now, was he saying this when Trump was in office about 2 weeks ago? No. So what suddenly changed? Let me think here. What suddenly changed? He's in a very blue state. He's the one Republican they say everybody can work with. What did Larry Hogan do? Oh, that's right. He got a Democrat in the presidential office, which is a neighboring area of Washington, D.C. So he's obviously got a brown nose about as good as they ever possibly could. Larry Suck Up Hogan is... He's definitely that guy. Definitely that guy. I've been seeing some really good statements being made about, the division of the previous candidates on the Democrat side. And of course, how they really were not even close to one another in terms of general profile, and how they really truly just never saw themselves as being like, on equal levels. One was always better than the other. There was always this effete snottiness about, oh, well, you're nothing like me. I'm so much better than you, blah, 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 blah. And the snarkiness was just ridiculous. Well, I do find it interesting, though, that all these people that had been unceremoniously just given like so little notice as they were running for president suddenly start popping up in the Biden cabinet. Buttigieg, Kamala runs as vice president. I'm sure there's going to be some other people. Bernie's obviously going to pop up somewhere. All these guys are going to pop up, and they're going to be like the turd in the punch bowl that you can't quite get rid of. And the reason being is they really, truly don't have a good talent base. So they put in people who are noteworthy in terms of optics. Not that they're good at their job, not that they're notably great candidates, but they have the optics of saying, well, see, we put this black person here, or we put this woman here, or we put this transsexual here, or we put this gay person here, or we put this other person here of other, check block under certain disaffected classes. Does that make them a better representative to the United States public? I don't think so. I think what it really truly does is it shows the false narrative of the Democrat Party and how fake they always have been, simply positing themselves as a divisive group of a-holes that they've always shown themselves to be. Classic thing I got here is Christine Jurgen. I don't know who she is, but she posted up a tweet the other day. Said Kamala's not a win for women. She is polling at virtually zero, and a man swooped in, picked her because of her gender and skin color, not her abilities. A woman who wins on her own and for her abilities and for experience is a win for women. This is not that. Wow. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, and I posted this up on January 22nd, but my Mrs. Dude really likes these things. I think they're absolutely freaking disgusting, but the Cadbury cream eggs, there's a commercial that the Cadbury guys did in Ireland. Now, why they got away with this in Ireland and not gotten their asses kicked, I don't know, but they have this video of this really hipster-looking white guy and this standard-looking black dude, and they're basically dancing around, tra-la, tra-la. Next thing you know is they're leaning in close to each other, and the white guy has the cream egg in his mouth, and the black dude takes a bite, and they're pulling away with the goo kind of like stretching in between them with obvious kind of sexual connotations on that one. But they posted this video up, and it's like, see, we're so inclusive. We're so woke. How's everybody so happy now with all these candies that we're showing, like, homosexual interaction with candies? It's like, how about you say it's just an Easter candy commercial and you don't do stuff that's just insulting to everybody? Oh no, you gotta be inclusive to the gay population. You know what? I really don't care what they're doing and stuff in their in their own private lives. I don't want to see it in a commercial. Okay, it really just I would have the same kind of way of thinking as if you saw like a straight couple doing that too. It's just like, yeah, that's just gross. Don't do that. Yeah, I wouldn't be into it in either way. So of course, them now having to do this woke thing. It's just annoying. And I don't care if they're gay. I don't care if their gay interactions and whatnot are going place. It's just a case of one of those things. Sex is not a spectator sport. It's not, okay? I don't want to see animals doing it in front of me. I don't want to see people doing it in front of me. It's just something I'm not into, okay? Oh yeah, what about porn? Well, duh. I mean, that's different, okay? Porn it's a fake intrusion of fake reality for you to say, see, these two people are now interacting and they're doing this, that, and the other thing, and she's really enjoying this guy who's basically walking around with an elephant trunk. It's basically a cartoon with people, okay? Porn is not real. There's no way in the world that chick is doing that with that dude and that's going on. That's not, okay? It's false reality. Oh no, my childhood candy is ruined. Wilhelm scream. Okay, I'll do it for you. It's been a while since I pulled him out. He's around somewhere. Oh, Wilhelm. Oh, look, somebody just pulled that candy egg out of their butt. Oh, it's part of the gay agenda. We'll chew on a candy in front of you. Yeah. Beta. Politicians are like senile grandparents. No, Gramps, the porta potty is over there. That's not where you do that. Not in my backyard, please. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. That's pretty much how that one is. I just want to go through my feed real quick. Google has threatened to remove their search engine from Australia. Oh no, like they can't use DuckDuckGo or Firefox or any of these other browsers / search engines. I would tend to think that the Aussies could pretty much tell Google to just, step on it. Let's see. I don't know if you guys caught this one or not. I'm not going to play the clip because obviously, there'll be some kind of copyright hit or somebody will do something. But there was a couple of honor guards. I think one was a Navy honor guard and one was a Marine honor guard. The one I'm looking at is definitely a Marine honor guard. He's in his dress blues, and he's standing at attention with a mask on, which looks so stupid. But anyway, so he's standing at attention, and Biden is walking up to the doorway. And it's kind of one of those don't say things, but he said and didn't do. So he's walking up there, and kind of like the old guy, as he's walking up to the doorway, salute the Marines. And he's kind of saying it like the old guy who's like half asleep. Like, obviously, the earbud that he was listening to, somebody was like, hey, you better snap one off to the Marines. And he's like, salute the Marines, as he goes walking in and doesn't salute the Marines. Now, Biden has never served. He doesn't know the first thing about, military protocols and what have yous. Obviously, the Marines probably, as soon as he got to that respective distance they're in, obviously snapped to it, held a proper salute. And so that's the other thing, too, is he really all there? Or the handlers just kind of like telling him what to do as he's doing his various things? But that is everywhere. If you look it up, and it's just the Biden gaffe caught on video, Conservative Journal review. Yeah, he is not doing it, folks. Scroll. Speaking of somebody else not doing it, I cannot do this justice at all. It's on my timeline, or you guys can look for it, but it's on a Twitter feed or it's on Google. Just look for it. But Chuck Schumer accuses Donald Trump of inciting not an insurrection, but inciting an erection. I think Chuck Schumer was on hour 3 of the 4 hours of a dose of Viagra, and it hadn't quite worn off. And he had a slight case of maybe being a little bit more honest than he really truly wanted to be, as he was dealing with just a little bit of wood. Yeah, the audience is now deaf. I left that loud for a reason, because that's usually the way I would always have it in the movie theater. Is you would walk in there and it'd be like, and you're like, holy crap, man. Yeah, the THX sound was always like insanely loud. I have posted up, and I posted this up on the 24th, so obviously a couple days ago. But there is an address if you wish to send a postcard or a well wish to President Trump. It's President Donald J. Trump, care of Mar-a-Lago Club, 1100 S, so South, Ocean Boulevard, Palm Beach, Florida, 33480. And I left that up. So, if B gets like scads and scads and scads of mail, well, one, the USPS is not going to be happy. Two, it's going to show for a fact that pretty much the media is not exactly honest. Let's see. Scroll. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but there's a New York Post article, and I'm not going to post this up, okay? And if anybody posts this up on my timeline, I'm going to be beyond pissed. But the whole thing where Bernie is sitting there with his mittens, and he's looking not too terribly happy, the old guy sitting outside in the cold during the inauguration, people are getting that as a tattoo. Why? Why would you put an old hack politician on your body? No, it makes no sense at all. I don't know why anybody would do that. plays 70 porn themes. Oh, jeez. Boing. Viewer discretion is advised. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, okay, if we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that right. All right. Hang on a second here. I think I got that here. I think I got that here someplace. Oh yeah, yeah. Schumer is talking about the insurrection erection. Yeah. That's what Bernie was talking about. Yeah, he's trying to incite an erection. Oh, Jesus. It's getting funny, folks. It's getting really funny. And years ago, I remember a really, really good statement by Rush Limbaugh. He said essentially this: the guys, and he did mean the Democrats, when the guys are in office, just watch. They're at their best. Just let them go. Let them do everything they're going to do. They are at their best. He ain't kidding, man. He's really not kidding. Oh, I don't know if you guys caught this news story or not. I'm going to do this one real quick. But supposedly in an area of Washington State, Aero Precision, read like guys make scads of, really preferably good quality, very well liked AR parts. They're in that area. And of course, the owner or whomever basically told the guys in that area, I think it was Seattle or something, said, look, if you put a tax on arms and ammunition, we're leaving. There's no reason in the world why we need to stay here and support this crap. And we'll just pull anchor and leave the area. Oh, yeah. By the way, I got 800 employees all paying into income tax. Guess what? They're going to go with me. So anyway, the libtards said, hey, yeah, we're going to put this in here. We're going to put this, this arms and ammunition tax in place, and we're going to teach you gun guys a lesson here by blah, 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 blah. Well, the end result is going to be is that supposedly they're going to make like $30,000 a year additional with all this, new taxes. Well, if you think about it, a corporation making like millions and millions of dollars worth of stuff and selling millions and millions of dollars worth of stuff and having 800 employees, that's more than $30,000 worth of tax revenue. And they said, you know what? We're going. And so now they're going to, I think it's an area called Lakeland, Washington, which is really not that far away, but it's like just over the line enough to count and say, hey, Seattle, like actually, Seattle, read between the lines. So, yeah, that's what they're doing on that one is they're moving out and they're going to take the tax revenue elsewhere. And they told them, don't do this or else. Well, Beretta told Maryland, don't do this or else. And they did. Speaking of don't do this or else, first 3 days in office. Who do you think has the most executive orders of any sitting president? Trump? No, he only had one. Obama? Obama only had 5. I'm shocked, man. Bush had 0. Clinton only had 1. How many does Biden have? 19 in the first 3 days. And there was a video going on where he was reading what am I signing? And he's like, yeah, just signing. He's like, okay. And he doesn't know what he's signing. Now, Mrs. Dude told me that they're essentially blank pages that they're signing, but they should at least say, hey, Mr. President, this is for the so-and-so and so-and-so. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Sure. Okay. Not just plop, 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 plop. It sounds and looks on its face sketch. Speaking of something that's not sketch, and I said this most empathetically, Elon Musk, you, sir, are a badass. I don't know if you guys caught the number, but the last SpaceX launch they did, the record before was like 100. I forget what the actual number was. It was under the number that they just did. But they just launched a rocket that put 143 separate satellites into orbit. One rocket, 143 items. Phenomenal. Let's see. Scroll. Now, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with this thing, but the whole impeachment thing, we're going to teach Trump a lesson. We're going to impeach him. We're going to dirty him up so he can't get back in again. No 2024 for you. Well, it's already been stated. It's dead on arrival. because it's not going to happen. You need to have a supermajority to put a conviction in an impeachment on somebody. Even then, he's a private citizen now. How do you impeach a private citizen that's no longer in office? The remediation of an impeachment is to remove a president because they've done something that's so horrendously horrible. There's no other means to get him out of the office fast enough. You must impeach him. Well, the 45th president now has 45 GOP guys in the Senate saying, nah, dead on arrival, not happening. So that impeachment crap, enjoy it in the House. That's as far as it's going. Again, that's as far as it's going. Scroll. I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but one of the executive orders that Biden put in was a reversal of one of Trump's things about Texas was supposed to be not doing any more deportations on illegals. Well, that's not happening because they took them to court. Literally, Texas took them to court, and within 6 days, pretty much knocked that executive order out. Said, no, we're still allowed to do what we need to do to protect Texas and the American people. These guys are going back home. So that's the way it is on that one. And that brings me up current and all good stuff like that there. Let me back over here to YouTube real quick, see what you guys are saying. He's better than Biden. Sitting there pissed. I set aside for this. Oh, man. Let's look at Gator Red 157. Dude, I appreciate you coming in. I haven't seen you before, but I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. Coming up on the hour and 25 minute time period. I try not to run my shows too terribly long, but I guess I just had a lot of stuff and I was feeling very full of it. I was full of it, okay? So I was just voluminously full. I was willing to share more than normal, I guess. I don't know. But like I usually say, I got the good stuff I got to go through here. So let me go through my stack of stuff because I got my stack of stuff. I got to go through my stack of stuff. So do be sure to check out Around the Cabin News, Around the Cabin Buy, Sell, and Trade, Around the Cabin medicinal cannabis, Around the Gardens Gate, and of course, aroundthecabin.com and aroundthecabin.com/campfire. Got me on Twitter as 80SPCC. Of course, you see me here as Dude Jerky. Those guys over on YouTube see me as 80s Podcast Channel. I do have a MeWe, and you know what? Let me make a quick statement on that one. There's this positive notion on Facebook that MeWe has sucked up to Facebook, or it's sucked up to Google, and it's now saying, "Oh, please don't hurt us. Yeah, we'll give up all your information and all the rest of this fall around." And it's already been stated on MeWe from the guy that runs the place, saying, "No, not at all. That's not happening. This is crap. Don't believe it." And if you go on MeWe and you look on the MeWe news, I think it is, the guy's already said, not happening. Don't believe it. It's balderdash. And I would never do such a thing because he's a libertarian, man. He said, honestly, here's the thing. I really, truly appreciate the guy. He's like, I'm a libertarian, but here's the thing. I want to be perfectly honest with everybody. I contributed to both parties in this election. So if you want to find somebody that's going to be unbiased, it's going to be that guy. He says he's libertarian, but he's contributed to both political parties. That's pretty centrist to me. And that says, he wants to have everybody make a statement on MeWe, which is pretty much what their mission statement has been. They say we want everybody to be able to say that which they wish to without being censored, without having their words retracted, redacted, or played around with. But we can do and say anything we wish to freely on MeWe. And it's been proven out. I mean, I've done some posts on there that literally are very, very, very snarky. And I didn't get a single notice of, hey, man, you can't do that stuff here. No, that's not the case at all. I'm in some gun groups, and it's been like zero issues. I mean, anything you want to say and do there, it's free. It's free and, free and clear. Nobody says or does anything. And if you do come in there and you create mayhem and trouble and problems, you're tossed. It's they don't tolerate games. They don't tolerate people going into groups and causing trouble. It's it's like-minded individuals hanging out and having a good time. So good stuff on that one. Be sure to check it out on MeWe. I think I'm on MeWe as Me Oh My, but if you look for Dude Jerky, you will find me as well. So I'm on MeWe as well. All right, so I'm gonna break this thing down, and appreciate you guys' kind attention. You guys over on the YouTube side, you guys over on the Facebook side, all good stuff like that there. I truly appreciate the kind attention. You guys had many other places to go on a Tuesday, but you decided to hang out with me, and I truly appreciate the kind attention. So I'm going to break up with this one. Eager continuing as always, you know it, you love it. And like I usually say, I need to find the stupid end button as always. So let me let me do that. It's the weirdest thing. It's like you basically hit the end button, and then it's like it kind of goes, do you really want to end? Yeah, I really, really want to end. I'm trying to end it. All right. So anyway, break off with this one, guys. Have a good one, and I'll get you guys next week. I may be posting up a YouTube video this week. I haven't decided which, but there is that subject matter of which is my base element, known as knives and firearms. So can't really show guns on the YouTube live stream, and I'll pull it up. I found out the hard way. Don't show guns on a live stream, or they get snarky. You can show knives though, so I'll show knives, and that too. Okay, so maybe break up with this one. You can keep telling me as always. You know you love it, guys. Have a good week, and I'll catch you guys later, and see you guys next Tuesday.